The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Friday, the 27th day of August, 2021. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications and Linda's. I'm Jamal Hartman, along with the Michaela Ian and Sherry Vanderpool, and Leanna Lambert will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break. It's Friday. How are you both doing? Are you ready for the weekend?
She is ready.
She's ready.
She is ready times two. It's been a long week.
Yes, I need copious amounts of rosé to compensate.
Oh, she is ready, folks.
Copious. Go in Linda's, grab a bottle or two after work, you know. Go hit up Zach real quick.
We both can hit up Zach real quick.
Come.
I am. Tomorrow.
All right, so you're back on the island tomorrow. So you two be careful together. I don't know, folks. It sounds like trouble. Good morning, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one to close out the week. Traditional work week, we say. Bermudian star Canjelae is stopping by for a conversation, so I'm quite excited about this. She's got a new single going on. We're going to talk to her about it. It's called Wordplay, and it's featuring Kravitz. She's got some stuff. She'll tell you about it. I'll let her tell you about it. I don't want to give it away too much. The daily play is going to be The Feud. So today, they're going to go to
in the game we never lose.
Yeah. Watching you and Sherry just get so hot and angry and try to get the answers to the feud, but gotta love it. So look, before we get to the exciting part of the show with Niliana's news and then Canjelae, we have some other things to discuss. Bermudians and the world over, people have been quite concerned about news media long before the pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's time for a conversation. Now, I don't consider this show necessarily, we don't necessarily report news. We share news and we discuss the news, right? But I wouldn't put us in the category of being a news outlet.
Correct. We are not members of the media.
Right, exactly, in that respect. And so I want to just make that clear before we get into today's conversation, because I think today's conversation is extremely important based on what we've seen going on. People sharing letters and notices about media outlets only focusing on one side of certain stories and different perspectives. So the question of the morning to the audience is going to be very simple. And I'm going to ignore the Terrys in the crowd who are going on about my shirt. Thank goodness it's not cop match. This is not red.
It's pink. What's wrong if you lied? It's pink.
Thank you, Terry.
Me and matching. See, pink, blue, pink, blue.
Thank you, Terry.
Come on.
I mentioned this already, and I was, you know how they
She was shut down with the quickness because Sherry want to come in talking about violence at 10 to 8. Come on, sis. Come on.
She must be part of that news media trying to start some stuff and take things.
Must be.
I'm looking at both sides of the story.
Looking from both sides of the story, but reporting from one. Yes, we get it. Look, so what this is the question of the morning based on that, folks. This is your question of the morning. Very easy. What do you believe the responsibility of news media is? What do you believe the responsibility is? Because one of the things I've seen, especially during the pandemic, is people sharing things from news networks that align with their beliefs. The same news networks that last year this time were basically saying, oh, kill them if they get out of line in terms of black people. If they're kneeling, like legit, I'm like, folks, you're quoting the same networks, the same people who basically were saying he should have followed the law and stuff like that last year this time. So what do you believe the responsibility of news media is? Is it to, you know what, because you agree with them on one thing, that's your favorite news network and that's what you're going to believe? Do you believe that they should tell both sides of the story, or should they report it based on how everything's been going?
It's like you said, Jamal, you know, people align themselves with what they believe, right? So on the other side of it, do we, you know, condemn people for what they choose to believe in? The responsibility of the media, in my opinion, is that they should share both sides and share all angles and let people make an informed decision. We know that's not true. However, if you believe what you believe, you're going to follow who you think who feeds that belief to you, unfortunately.
I don't agree. I believe that the news media, as a former cardholder member of the press, it's your responsibility to share the facts. It's your responsibility to share accurate information. Miss me with, oh, let's talk about both sides. So for instance, reporters who were reporting on Donald Trump and covering the White House beat, it is not their responsibility to cover Donald Trump's lies. It's their responsibility to cover the facts and say things as they are. You know what I mean? So when we start talking about both sides, it gets a little bit tricky because sometimes one side is lies. So for me, as a former reporter, I'm not going to sit here and cover your lies and try to give you some sort of platform. Like, we're not doing that. I am reporting fair, accurate facts. Done.
Okay. And Terry asked the question. She says, are we saying the news media entity or the journalist specifically? We're speaking news media, and I'll share something, but go ahead, Sherry.
Perception is reality at the end of the day. And so whether you choose to believe that it's the facts, you know, it still is a lot to go along with just that. And I feel like the media needs to report everything and let the viewer or the person make the decision on what they choose to take in.
Well, this is the thing, like when you're crafting a news story, so a written story, and you are saying Miss Vanderpool said, and you're putting it in quotes, those are the things that are super, super important, because there are a lot of times that people read things and think it is the journalist or the reporter's opinion, when in reality, no, because the job is to report things fairly and accurately. So I get what you're saying, read both sides of it, in terms of like, if there's a story and, you know, I don't know, it's just say a protest, right? And the entire story is about what the protesters are saying, and then there's only 2 lines about the premier's reaction to said protest. That's not a fair story. So I understand what you're saying in that regard. Go ahead.
But I hear you, and I don't disagree with what you're saying, but isn't that subjective though? What fair is? I mean, I agree that it should be fair, but what fair is to some people may not be fair to you.
Yeah, it's all about balance. Mm-hmm. It's balance. I mean, for me, as a former reporter, it was never my job to share my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Never. And right.
Ever. Unless I'm writing a column. If I'm writing a column / opinion piece, absolutely. But it is never the journalist's job to share an opinion.
Well, on the Chico Trot on balance, she's saying to provide balanced, accurate reporting. That's the responsibility of the media. Mm-hmm. But, you know, again, okay, here's the question. What news network that exists in Bermuda or the U.S., what news entity that currently exists actually does this, provides balanced and accurate reporting?
See, it's tricky. So I know that a lot of people have issues with the Gazette, and having been in that organization, I mean, I have been out of it for over 10 years now, so I cannot speak to how it's currently run or currently operated. But I will tell you, when I worked there were comments that were made about how the Gazette brought in reporters from the UK specifically to attack you at Brown. That never happened ever. Like, these journalists from various parts of the UK didn't even know who these Bermuda politicians were until they moved to Bermuda. So when you're trying to sit here and say the Royal Gazette had this agenda to bring in these UK reporters to attack Dr. Brown and so on, it's just ludicrous, you know? And so that used to frustrate me because I was in there. I saw how it operated. Obviously, headlines can create something a bit different and may take the story to a different level that might not be fair or balanced. But as someone who worked in that space, I refute the fact that people are out here thinking that, oh, these reporters have an agenda. Like, no. Why would they care that much about Bermuda? They're expats. Like, they don't care about Bermuda politics like that. Come on.
It just takes a few people, of course, to sprinkle a little salt in a situation
Well,
for
yeah.
it then to take off. I mean, we're talking about Bermuda, and I mean, I can't even say Bermuda, United States as well. One thing is being said, and then it's spread like wildfire, and then it's in quotes as, or part of a quote of a situation. So if people believe what they want to believe,
Yes.
it's just it, and that's the bottom line. And if the question is, what do we believe the responsibility is? The responsibility to me, again, is to report both sides of a story and then let a person make an informed decision. Now, what they choose to take out of the facts is on them, and you can't do nothing about that.
All right, let's
Fact
move
is
along,
fact.
guys. Let's move along real fast. Cherie Dill says, I thought the responsibility of the media is to bring facts to the audience. It should be objective. Well, you're missing a key word, Cherie. We're not speaking about the media. We're speaking about news media. It's a big difference between the media and news media.
Yeah, absolutely.
News media focuses on reporting news. Media focuses on communicating with an audience. So Charlemagne the God, for instance, he is not news media.
He's media.
Yeah, he can be, he doesn't need to be objective. He can take a side, and you know, that's what we used to try to get certain people to understand about Teo. Like, oh, his in media, his not supposed to. No, he is not a journalist. He was not a news reporting news. He had a perspective, and he was sharing it with his audience. So we must be clear in explaining the difference between news media and media. But that said, let's share this, because this is based in the US, right? This is pretty much, it's a chart by All Sides Media Bias chart. And as you can see, let's go to the bottom of it so people can see what each thing means, right? So left, right, lean left, center, lean right, right. So I'm going to say left is pretty much extremist liberal, right? And right is extremist conservative, okay? All right, so let's go down this list, right? And let's just see, because I asked the question, is there any media that does that, is accurate at balance? And so, you know, I don't necessarily think there is an answer that there is one, but let's look. Do any of these surprise you on this chart?
The BBC kind of surprises me as being center, because they tend to lean a bit more right, I find, anyway, in the UK.
Okay. I didn't consider CNN all the way left.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think that's probably over there because of the past 4 or 5 years covering Donald Trump. I think that's probably why they've gone all the way left, because they were not here for the nonsense.
Okay.
Yeah. Fox is where it needs to be.
Well, I'm actually shocked at the Daily Mail. I didn't.
Oh, the Daily Mail is horrendous. Don't ever go on that website. They are racist a-holes. They're horrible.
I honestly,
horrible.
I've been going on the Daily Mail for years just for like football transfer updates and so on.
Horrible.
Don't
reward them with clicks.
Well, let's look at center, right? Center, NPR and Reuters.
Yeah, none of these surprise me.
That honestly, this all sounds about right. The one that surprises me along with BBC is the Christian Science Monitor.
They're pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Now, what's the difference, if anyone knows, between the Wall Street Opinion Journal and Wall Street News Journal?
Maybe one is just filled with opinion and one is filled with facts.
And might one, like Michaela said, might be just opinion column
maybe
opinions.
I don't know.
So based on this, right? Based on this, and I want to go back to what Michaela said about the Dr. Ewart Brown thing and the Royal Gazette. Based on this, and this is by All Sides Media Bias chart. Based on this chart, if we're looking for the accurate balance, then we would go straight down the center, AP, straight down
Yes.
to the Wall Street Journal. So this is what we'll go to. So if someone's coming to us with CNN, right, information from CNN or Fox or MSNBC or Daily Mail or the New York Post, we should immediately dismiss the article. Are you saying? Would you say?
I don't agree. I think that the media, the news media that is in the left, are likely in the left because they lean very Democratic and they refuse to be baited by Donald Trump's nonsense. That's my opinion, because you look at MSNBC, you look at Huffington Post, you look at CNN, who were openly like, this is nonsense.
Yeah,
so,
but
for me, it's like, if you're out here and you're refusing to give any sort of legitimacy to lies, that makes you left. Because we know all the way on the right means they're just happily reporting lies. We know that.
Well, no, Michaela, no, I completely disagree with you. At the end of the day, one leans very right, one leans very left, right? Conservatives are going to believe what they believe. Liberals are going to believe what they believe.
Which is fine, but I just feel like on the right-hand side, when we look at a Fox News, when we look at the Daily Mail, we're looking at organizations that are racist. It's not just conservative.
But is that a lie? You know what I mean? Is that a lie in the sense of what they believe? We just.
I just look at the Daily Mail, for instance. They are known to print lies. Like, they recently were sued by Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan for printing lies and having a racist agenda. So for me, it's not just about being conservative.
No, for sure. But I think
these are the media who are talking about George Floyd and how he deserves to die. Like, you know what I mean?
But let's not be foolish here. Let's not be foolish. You cannot show me one. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I continue to appreciate about Fox News. What I continue to appreciate about Donald Trump. I know how they feel. I am not a liberal. I will never be a liberal, and I could not see myself trying to get people to be liberal, because liberals are some of the most well-hidden racists there are. Just look at the people who ran for president in the Liberal Party, how they dismissed certain black things. Joe Biden is a perfect example, right? So I think to dismiss the right and act as if the left are these great people. No, they're both.
I never said great.
No, you didn't say it. But what I'm saying is, I think they're both in the same boat. If you ask me,
I don't agree.
I don't see much of a difference as a person who sits in the middle and literally has a bin right here that I throw both of them in. I honestly don't see it.
I don't agree. And I say that as someone who, like I said, someone who's been in it, and I see, like, when you talk about Fox News, you talk about the Daily Mail, like the vitriol. It's just like, no, it's not remotely in the same boat at all.
Well, as somebody who
is the point, but go ahead, Sherry.
Right. As I say, as somebody who's sitting in the middle of the two of you, it again, I hear what you're saying, Michaela. I'm not saying that what they're reporting isn't lies, but their lies align with somebody's agenda and their beliefs, and they can choose to listen to that if they want to, because that's what they're gravitating to. I don't choose to listen to that. So to me, whatever happens on the right happens on the right.
Yeah, and that's why it's important to have the center. Yeah. It's important to have the center. Yeah, absolutely.
I think Tamara Richardson sums up what I was saying, and I think this is where I want to. Because Michaela, when I'm hearing you, it sounds like they're there because of Donald Trump. This left and right.
No, that's not what I think. I think there was absolutely left and right before Donald Trump. Absolutely.
Right, but what you said was that you feel like they're over on this left because of Donald Trump.
Further left.
Right.
Further left.
Again, I just don't see it, because they were who they were before Donald Trump. And so Tamara's comment, for those who are not watching, is there was a left and right before Donald Trump. The far left certainly has issues just like far right, but many people move one way or another depending on specific topics. And that's my problem. I'm going to be honest. MSNBC, CNN, they're too extreme for me. They're just as extreme to me, right, as Fox News. They're both extreme. Now, I take Michaela's point about the lies. Like, I honestly cannot watch Fox. If I had to choose, I'd probably watch MSNBC. I'll be honest with you.
But this is the thing, like, when we think about,
but they're still in the same boat to me. They're really in the same boat, because they're not selling the truth. They're selling their truths.
See, I tend to not agree, because, for instance, the coverage of the pandemic. I am going to listen and trust what CNN says way more than what Fox News says in terms of the coverage of the pandemic. I'm just using that as one example. Because CNN is more likely to give facts.
Right. What Sherry just said.
No, I believe the facts.
But Michaela, they've been okay. So I'm going to say the politicians in the Republican Party, right, are legit, and she's just correct, Sherry. They have made a 180, 360, whatever. My math's not all that great.
180.
But, they've made a 180 as it pertains to the vaccine. Think about it. Donald Trump got booed last week because he said
recommending vaccination.
Right. So she's right in that respect. She completely.
That's why I just said the pandemic. That's the only thing that I can say in this example.
But let's not act like the liberal media hasn't been wrong in many things. Let's start with Cuomo in recent times. So my point is, think of CNN. What's happened at CNN with Chris Cuomo and his brother? People saying that, he didn't do this and do that. So it's all about, and again, you'll think about it years from now. It literally is what aligns with our beliefs. It is. Me personally, I do not put myself in a position where I believe one over the other. However, if you asked me which one I'm going to tune into to get information, if it came down to it, I would probably say, you know what? And I told you this just yesterday, Michaela. When we read articles for this show, I legit would look on Forbes, then I would go on CNN, and I would go on Fox because I want to understand all the perspectives. But I get you, but it's just, I think MSNBC is just as bad as Fox. But yeah, I do watch Joy every night. I'm gonna be honest. I'm putting it out there. I watch Joy and read every night on MSNBC. No lie. That's what triggers me to go and research stuff. Do I watch Fox on a regular basis? No, I can't.
Yeah, no,
I can't watch Colson and them. Go ahead. Sorry.
And I was gonna say, and that's the thing, is to research and take different bits and pieces of things that align with your beliefs. You can refute, from and you know what I'm saying, and against Fox and all of that. My mouth's all tongue-tied today, but nevertheless. But you need more coffee.
Now this is an interesting one, and I think I just want to go back to the Dr. Brown part right there. Now, when you're in certain organizations and you hear people saying stuff and you're like, no, that didn't happen. Like, I've been there, trust me. Like, and I get it. What I will say, and I think this is tough on Bermudians, when news reporters come in new spaces, they have no relationship. They're not worried about offending people. And I think that's what people have to keep in mind. So it's not necessarily the agenda of the person. Now, are they going to report on what the organization wants them to? Maybe. We've got to move on. We've got Canjelae.
We do. We're a little late.
Bring in Lee. Lee, hot one, but we got to get straight to the news, sister.
Go for it.
Right, so over to you. My goodness, look at us.
Thanks, Jamel, Michaela, and Sherry. A hot one this morning, guys. TGIF to everyone that's tuned in with us. We made it to the end of the week, and I hope everyone is feeling great going into this weekend. I'm Leanna Lambert, and it's time for the Daily Hour News Break. So here's what's going on in today's top stories. Fire crews were called to tackle a bushfire at a house in Smiths last night. The flames destroyed an area of grass and several bushes in the grounds of a house in Harrington Sound in Smiths. Now, the fire, which was close to a Belco utility pole, was tackled by firefighters from both Clearwater and Hamilton fire stations. Police said that there were delays on Harrington Hundreds Road and the Napton Hill area, where there was heavy smoke and a rapid spreading fire. Now, officials say that they have not determined the cause yet. However, emergency services managed to get the blaze under control. In other news, the BIU would have to fight this battle on their own after its sister union, the BPSU, said it would not support the 2-day work stoppage next week. Blue Collar Bermuda Industrial Union announced the strike last week, which was due to start on Monday, and appealed to their other labor organizations to support its stand against changes to procedures on union decertification votes. However, the white-collar Bermuda Public Services Union said it would not take part in the industrial action. BPSU President Armel Thomas said that the union will not be encouraging its members to participate in this shutdown because of their previously stated position on the decertification process in supporting the new law. Mr. Thomas added that the BPSU agreed with the fundamental rights of unions to protest on matters that they feel will have a detrimental impact on their members, but he said that the BPSU believed the new law protected workers' rights. The Bermuda Employers Council also joined the list of organizations, saying that they have asked the BIU to withdraw its strike threat. The BIU is set to be holding an urgent special council meeting this morning at 8 a.m. Meanwhile, government is launching a public consultation process on single-use plastics in a bid to abolish the product by next year. At a press conference yesterday, Home Affairs Minister Walter Rabban said that the government in 2018 had pledged to rid the island of the material, which included plastic cups, cutlery, straws, and food containers by 2022. Now, he said that the unfortunate side effects of the COVID-19 pandemic is a projected 30% increase in plastic waste in 2020 compared to 2019. So this initiative is even more critical. Now, he pointed out that government had announced a 3-stage approach to the issue in March, starting with a public information campaign and consultations to review and provide feedback on the proposed ban. Now, that consultation is set to begin on September 1st, which is next week, after which government plans to table legislation banning the sale, distribution, and use of single plastic use. And emotions will be extremely high tomorrow as the final match in the Eastern County Cup Series is set to go ahead when champions St. David's Cricket Club is looking to defend their title against Bailey's Bay at the Seabreeze Oval. Now, the challengers have made several changes in their lineup from the one that drew with St. David's the last time the teams met in the competition in 2019. However, the teams say that they're going in for an all-out victory on Saturday. Now, those interested in attending the match are reminded it is a safe key event. Taking a look at today's weather, we have a high near 86 and a low near 78 degrees. We will see a mix of sun and clouds with a few showers developing towards the evening. The northwest breeze will continue as the nearby high center remains to our west. Now, over the weekend, weak troughing moves into the area from the north, introducing a few showers and eventually slightly cooler temperatures. An area of low pressure to the distant east continues to be monitored for potential tropical development. That's all for our daily hour news break. Let's head back to Jamal, Michaela, and Sherry in the studio for today's Daily Focus.
Leanna, I didn't hear you say "Let's go Bailey's Bay" or anything just now during your news break.
Was it meant to?
Okay. Well, Michaela's for Bailey's Bay tomorrow anyway.
No,
all right.
she's not. No.
Oh, he stays throwing people in his shenanigans, man.
Thomas said Cleveland County mixed up sharp, but you know.
This is pink. Anyway, have a great weekend, Lee. We'll see you back on Monday morning.
See you Monday, and I'll see you guys at the field. I was going to be attending.
All righty.
Bye.
All righty. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with these Bailey's Bay haters and Canjelae in a few.
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dendy Town Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
John Barrett & Son, Bermuda's favorite distributor of fine beverages, has brought us a new and refreshing thirst quencher just in time for the approaching warm weather. Hint Water in 7 luscious flavors. Hint Water is slaking the thirst of active people who need pure hydration, low on the glycemic index, and want the kind of taste experience that keeps them coming back to try the next flavor. For those who've been giving water a miss, Hint may win you over. Hint Water. No sugar, no additives, all flavor. Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
All right, welcome back to the big show. Michaela and Sherry Vanderpool, myself, Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications and Lindo's, and it's time for our special guest. Real quickly, ladies, can you all hold a note?
I performed in Carnegie Hall when I was a teenager with my choral group. Of course, I can hold a note.
I forgot. My apologies. Sherry,
I sang at my senior show back in '92, but it's okay. It's videotaped. It's VCR recorded, and in the shower, it's
I'm also a classically trained pianist, so yes.
All right.
Nobody asked that.
Let's bring in Canjelae, the real singer on the show today. Let's bring in Canjelae. Welcome to the show. Good morning. How are you?
Hi guys. Good morning.
Hi.
Morning.
I'm sorry. I thought I was gonna get a backup singer for you here. It's not looking likely.
Well, honestly, I think that these lovely ladies, they could do the job for sure.
Thank you.
How about me? I mean,
You know what? We always need a tenor. Maybe you would do. Maybe you would do.
Just rewind to 2 weeks ago and you'll see no.
Oh man, maybe I should.
I pulled a hamstring singing "Happy Birthday" a couple weeks ago. But don't worry about that.
You put a hamstring singing.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Yeah. It happens to the best of us. But look, thanks for doing this. I remember many years ago you had a song on the radio in Bermuda. I think it was Dana Ventuzo. That you worked with, right? So your journey's just been incredible from a young lady. But just for those who don't know, how did you get started with your music?
I went to Bermuda Institute, and I grew up going to like Southampton and Hamilton Seventh-day Adventist Church, and I feel like anybody that knows that community knows that music is such a huge part. And so my grandmother sang, my mom sang, I was just around so much music. And one day I was singing in the bathroom because nobody knew I could sing, and a teacher, Miss Iris at the time, she shouted at me. She's like, "Who is in the bathroom?" And I thought I was in trouble, and I said, "It's me." She was just like, "Why haven't you told anybody you could sing?" I was like, "I just didn't know I could. I thought everybody could sing." And I think from there, I think everybody kind of was like, "Oh, I think she kind of, has something." And so, they put me in the school play, singing, assemblies, all that kind of stuff. The premieres concert, I did the Robin Givens. When Robin Givens came to Bermuda, I did the Joy in the Morning when I was really young. That was an awesome experience.
Incredible. The bathroom. That's where it all started.
Honestly, it has the best acoustics, shower singing. You guys know.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I've made albums in the shower, trust me.
Oh dear Lord. We don't hear those.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
We don't want to hear
it. I was a Daily Hour cup.
Oh, we're gonna get you one. We'll get you one. We'll get you one.
I don't have my cup here. I just don't want to mess up my lip gloss.
So, Canjelae, tell us, how has the music industry changed over the years?
I think there's just been so many eras, and I think one thing that has been really awesome is just the ability for people to be able to create from home and not necessarily have to go to like huge studios. And so there's more people making music now than ever, and we get access to different stories and different artists that we may have never heard before, because being an artist is something that it doesn't have so many gatekeepers like it did before. So I think, that has been really great for artists. And then, with COVID, I think it's just allowed a lot of people to really take hold of creating from home. And like I record myself. I have like engineers and producers that I work with, my team, but I know how to like record myself and like comp my vocals and all of that from home, and I have my equipment so I can record from anywhere. I think like that has just made music and like that's just made the world so much more accessible to certain artists and platforms. So I'm really happy about that.
That's awesome. So let's talk about the pandemic just a little bit more. So how has that affected both your music and performances?
Well, like there's obviously like less traditional live performances, traditional concerts and stuff. But I also like sometimes I'm a bit of a hermit. So honestly, the pandemic didn't really like affect me too much. Obviously, I missed performing live, but the ability to kind of create worlds and virtual concerts and being like stuck at home, I was really allowed to like focus on what I wanted to say and what I wanted to sing. And I think maybe you could say the same for a lot of other artists. Like we enjoy like the hermit time and then the extrovert time. It's like the duality,
No, I love it. So talk to us about how young Bermudians can get into the music industry outside of Bermuda, because Bermuda is not starved for talent, but I feel like the amount of talented artists who've come out of Bermuda and been successful is not a lot, right?
Yeah, it's not. Well, honestly, the music industry is just a different breed in the first place. So I think, one of the main things I think people take for granted is really understanding the industry that they want to be a part of. Just like approaching any industry, understanding the business and ins and outs of, how to be in that industry. But I would say, like study. Sometimes, coming from Bermuda, it's easier to like go to music school or join like a class or organization or things like that so that you can have a community and network. And then from there, just like network every chance you get, every opportunity, every performance you get. I got the amazing opportunity to go to Berklee College of Music, and that was a game changer for me. So many of my peers and my teachers, we're like a club. We're like a fraternity. It's like, every huge superstar that you can think of has a Berklee person on their team, whether it's their band, their MD. So it's like going to that school was a huge door opener for me. So I would say just be a part of a community and continue to learn,
Interesting.
Get off your rock.
Yes, absolutely. That makes such a big difference.
It does. And with all of that being said, though, how can Bermuda as a whole nurture, young Bermudians that want to get in into music? What can we do?
I personally think that we're really a shift. I would love for a shift to happen, and I would love, as an artist myself, to be a part of that shift of allowing us to realize that our creatives are they're so important. They tell our stories. When people come to our country, they want to hear the music, they want to see the art, they want to see the dancing, the gumbes, they want to see our culture. And traditionally, all over the world, that is the job of the creators, the artists. And so I think as a whole, it would be really awesome if we as a community didn't make people feel like wanting to enter into those fields should be a hobby. It would be awesome if we could really support people and really understand the value and quality of what people should be paid for their talents. So many people take for granted that they play music for free in their restaurants, but everywhere else in the world you have to pay to have a license to play music. And so I think it's something that as a coach I would really love us to just encourage our peers, our loved ones, the kids to really go for it. Nothing is impossible. I don't understand why we put such a cap on those creative things.
No, I love that. I love that because I don't consider myself a creative anymore, but when I was, it was just,
you are.
kind of, yeah. But it was discouraged. It was not an option. It was, you're going to university, end of story, done.
Or, get a government job.
No.
Yes. So, Canjelae, you have worked with so many people and some of the top music artists, top producers. We got Timbaland, Jay-Z, I think 50's in there. Tell us how it is to work with all of these people that we only dream about. I know I want to meet them.
I haven't had the opportunity to work with 50 Cent, and I worked with Jay-Z by proxy because when I met Timbaland in the studio, we were just vibing, and he just threw me in the booth. You have an idea and you don't tell Timbaland no. I was just in my mind as I was walking to the mic, I kind of was just whatever comes out is whatever comes out. And he had me sing over a track that Jay-Z had laid a verse on. So I worked with him by proxy, but not in person. But Timbaland is a legend. I've had the opportunity to work with Scott Storch, who produced Baby Boy, Beyonce, and so many other people, so many other amazing songs. But even though it was my dream and is, still my dream to work with some top producers, my favorite producers to work with are my friends and the people that I have been able to build with from scratch. I think that's something that Issa Rae said has always stuck with me. I feel like we're so wanting to achieve vertically that we forget to work with the people that are not work horizontally, the people that are where we are and that are hungry and that we can create something special together. So I have an amazing team of people and we've all done amazing things, but the best is yet to come for us all. So that's my squad.
Well, with that being said, what can we expect from you moving forward? I know your latest single is out, and tell me about that.
So yes, I have. I put out my first project called Cave Covers, and it was a mix of originals and covers. I covered Brandy, Broken Hearted, By Your Side, Sade, and then I did some originals that are Bermudian favorites like Easy Love and Overtime with Jacob Lattimore. But my latest single is Wordplay featuring a rapper named TK Kravitz. Most people know him for some really dope hits. But yeah, we made this song Wordplay and it was a bit sexy and it was fun.
I love it. We've got some questions in the audience for you as well as we wrap up. Mark Arthur C. Phillips, he's asking, what are some of your creative inspirations as a vocalist?
Okay, so this is always like a really tricky question to like ask me because, obviously I feel like there are like the vocal greats like Whitney and Mariah and Celine, Barbara Streisand, and all those amazing voices, but I also love like my two favorite female artists probably of all time would be Sade and Aaliyah. I just love how they just exuded their energy on their vocals, and I think it just speaks to how you work with the voice that you have, and every voice is beautiful, so those are my, obviously, I love Beyonce too. Who doesn't? I mean, like, hardest working woman in the industry.
And you know how that beehive is. If you didn't mention B just now, the beehive would have came.
I was about to say.
I was definitely a part of the beehive, so they will never come for me.
All right.
But what I did her say, everybody has a beautiful voice. I took that.
Yes.
Took that
part. Oh, you thought she was talking to you, Sherry?
I think that honestly, with the voice lessons, everybody can get to their optimum potential.
Oh, I love that.
So diplomatic.
I had some amazing Bermudian vocal teachers. I had Miss Marcel. She passed away. Rest in peace.
Right.
I had Miss Clemens. I had my family, Mr. Hill, who's like a staple in the vocal community. And then, of course, I had like every Seventh-day Adventist singer, the entire choir. Like, literally, I had no shortage of people. My grandmother would be like, that's not the right note, as I was practicing my hymns before like every performance in her room, and my mom as well. And my dad has an amazing pen. Like, not many people would know that he writes some like amazing poetry. I have some awesome creatives in my family. Sharon Wilson, my great grandmother. Well, she should be like my great grandma. I start losing count. You know how it is. Geraldine Johnston and all her stories. So I feel like so many Bermudians, storytelling and creativity, like run in my veins, and I love being Bermudian. I love being Bermudian in the rest of the world and getting to show people like my culture and like what we talk like. So many people is like, what's your accent? Like, is it British? Are you this? Are you that? You know how people don't know. You know how us Bermudians are that way. So it's awesome. But I definitely want to make sure to let you guys know that there's some dope stuff coming. And
you're gonna give us a hint?
Like we're waiting.
Yeah, you can drop a surprise on the show now.
So I have some really awesome collaborations coming. But I think I'm working on my new project, which I'm really, really excited about. I tried my best to incorporate as many little Bermudian Easter eggs in the project, so everybody who's from Bermuda will hear it and be like, I know what she's talking about. Visuals as well. And I recently was featured on BBC One Extra, their One Take with DJ Ace, and you guys know they're the premier radio station in London. That was an amazing opportunity. And it's Aaliyah's 20th anniversary, so I'm excited to be a part of an amazing tribute to her. And I tweeted like my everybody on Twitter. I was just like, if 3 people can guess, because everybody started guessing what Aaliyah song I was doing. If 3 people can guess the right answer, I would tell everybody. So, you guys want to guess?
Which Aaliyah song?
I do.
Go ahead.
Because I could hear it at your best.
I know why you would think I was saying that. It's one of my favorites, but I actually already did that with Jacquees on one of his mixtapes.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kales. Take a guess.
I don't have a guess because I'm not a big Aaliyah fan, so sorry.
Girl,
One in a million? Like, I don't.
Girl, you're not a big Aaliyah fan?
No.
Honestly, you know the Aaliyah. I don't know what.
Destiny's Child all day, boo.
Somebody in the audience has guessed "Rock the Boat."
The boat. Yeah, that was my next
Rock
guess.
the Boat. I like
Yeah, I was
that.
gonna say that too. Like,
It's
I
not
mean,
that.
Aaliyah give like, yeah, take or leave her. That's how I feel.
Okay, we can't say that when I'm off.
You know what it is? Because people keep talking about Aaliyah like she was on Beyonce's level, and she was not. So that's. I feel like I feel like when people die, we like sanctify them, you know, and so yeah.
I don't know. I think there's something that we should say. First of all, it's her 20th anniversary, so let's be kind, right?
Yes.
And
okay. Fair enough.
Secondly, I think that yes, I think people do memorialize people when they pass, but as an artist and as someone who, you know, I have my favorites, but it was really important for me to study the genre as a whole, you know. What her, Timbaland, and Missy did, they changed the sound of R&B at that time.
Absolutely.
And at that time, Beyonce was not more popular. At that time, she was America's sweetheart. And I think that that's something that we love about her. And I think that's something we can't speculate about where we would be. I hate the conversation about nobody would be here if this wasn't this. We can't speculate. We can only appreciate her for where she was at that time. And at that time, there was no queen. Everybody was doing their thing.
How old was Aaliyah when she passed?
I think she
22.
was 22.
So
it's like, yeah, so I mean, and the poise that she had in her interviews, I mean, I just think that that's something that we can't do. So even if you're like queen of the beehive, most people I think can just appreciate that whole era. I mean, that whole era was banging, and she was at the forefront of some of the soundtracks to a lot of people's favorite memories growing up.
You know who she reminded me of as an artist, honestly, and people gonna think I'm crazy, but she reminded me of Michael Jackson. I'm gonna tell you why, Aaliyah. Because Michael Jackson always came across as a shy person when he wasn't performing, and so did she. Like, if you saw her interview, she always had the shades on, like almost like she was a bit shy when it came to doing interviews. And I only mentioned that because you said, you know, when she was in interviews. I actually during that time, I was a big Boys II Men fan. I was into still the groups and so on. When Missy and them, they brought this era of, you know, dancing and it was a different time. It was a different. It was a change in period in R&B, and I appreciated the way that they made it so smooth. Timbaland, Magoo, Missy, Aaliyah, that whole entire crew. It was a special time. And the year I remember,
really was.
8 to 99.
It really was.
One last question before you go, though. We have Teresa Stewart. She asked, she asked it so long ago, folks. I can't even find. Basically, her question was asking about young Bermudians. What would you dang, Terry, I'm so sorry I can't find your question now. But basically, what advice would you give to young Bermudians who are trying to get in the space you're in and grow?
I would say first of all, the biggest thing that you have to do is believe in yourself. Like, believe in yourself. A lot of people would say, what's your backup plan? What's your this? What's your that? What's your this? No. You have one plan, you study how to execute that, you continue to invest in yourself. So many people want to like spend their money on like bags, this, that, but how about paying the money to take a songwriting class, paying a producer top dollar for like a track that you really love, paying for vocal lessons, just investing back into yourself. Like, being an artist is a huge investment and it's a huge dream, but it's so achievable if you don't give up and if you just continue to feel like there's no limit. For some reason, there's a lot of limitations placed on like a lot of us young people in Bermuda and even the kids and when it comes to creativity, and I don't understand why, because we have some of the most talented people in the world. And just, go for it. And I have a lot of people that DM me and ask me questions. I actually had a competition on Twitter where I said I would like write for an artist in Bermuda. And so I ended up choosing 3. And so I'm working with them now. And it's actually just been amazing, to like share the stuff that I know. I don't want to wait until I'm on like every TV screen to like give back.
Yeah. Canjelae, everybody, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciated it. We're watching your journey. We are fans. We're cheering you on.
Thank you, guys.
No problem. No problem. Thanks for
You about
making
to sing my song? You about to sing my songs right now? You about to sing it?
No,
Go ahead, Jamel. Take the lead. Bitch.
Yeah.
My shoulder, you guys. I'm not my shoulder industry. I want
Oh,
to do
your
it.
shoulder.
Yes, my shoulder today.
That's so funny.
You can drop us a little bar if you'd like. Come on now, give us something. Give us a little something.
Actually, I have something really special coming in the next couple of days, and I'll save it for then. It's a live performance.
All right, let us know how you can find that live performance.
Yes. It's gonna be virtual, so stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and YouTube at Canjelae, Canjelae. Follow me if you're Bermudian and you're not following me. What's up?
That's what I'm saying.
Or you can get if you're Bermudian and you're not following Sherry, you're not following Michaela, you're not following Jamal. What's up?
What's up? I like that.
That's good. Canjelae, thank you so much, and we look forward to having you back, especially after you drop some of these surprises you're not telling us.
Yes.
Thanks so much. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, guys, for having me. Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, thanks again. If you enjoyed that conversation with Canjelae, you know what to do. Give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Really appreciate her making time for us. Folks, we're going to take a quick break. Then we'll be back with, well, you know how they act. I'm just going to give you the hashtag Daily Hour. We're going to do a little giveaway. Hashtag the Daily Hour.
Same smooth sounds, different name. BCG Radio, home of Bermuda's most engaging morning talk shows, The Daily Hour and Good Day Bermuda. Download the app, available for Android and Apple devices. BCG Radio, your station for conversations and entertainment.
All right, welcome back. It's time for some fun. Thanks again to Medical House, Linda's, One Communications, all of our partners to continue to support us. Thanks again to Canjelae as well for dropping by today. All right, fight time. Here we go. Be careful with this first one, you guys.
I love it.
If you could change anything about your job, what would it be?
The pay.
Money.
Be careful.
I'd say be careful about that one, you all. Past or present name of a famous wall.
Of a famous
Berlin.
What? Wall. That's number
Great
2.
Wall of China.
He got it. He go. Great Wall, Berlin, Vietnam, then the Wailing. Final one. Here we go. This is too easy. Name something people rent for a party.
Balloon. No. Fun Castle. DJ. Speakers.
DJ number 2.
Rent. A place, an event
Venue?
space.
Help them out, folks. Name something
people rent for a party. Karaoke machine?
Nay. Hold on. A penny. A cologne. A action figure.
Entertainment?
DJ was number 2.
Something that people rent for a party.
Chairs? Tables? Really?
Tables and Chairs was number 1. Yep, can't see it.
Yeah,
Tables
we
and
can
Chairs
see
was
that.
number 1. DJ number 2. Tent number 3. Bear Keg number 4. Clown, somebody said number 5. Number 6 was Band. And guess what number 7 was?
What?
Magician?
Stripper.
Stripper. See, I wouldn't think of renting any of these things. I would think of booking them.
Any final thoughts on today's show?
Yeah. My final thought is media outlets, as we say, is the responsibility, I think, of the person to choose what media fits their beliefs, and it is what it is. Canjelae, beautiful, beautiful person. I can't wait to see what she has coming. And I want to say a special happy birthday to my sister and one of my best friends, Kim. Thank you.
Happy birthday. Any final thoughts?
Marcia Bradshaw.
No, this is a great show. I love talking about media, and I also love supporting Bermudians who are doing the thing. So that's, yeah, it's incredible. Go follow Canjelae if you're not already.
Indeed. No, a great show. I got some comments saying, yo, this was the best, you and Michaela disagreeing and Sherry refereeing. I'm like, you all really don't know Michaela and I. This is our regular life. Like, don't be, if there's something we disagree with, we're gonna disagree. But the referee part was funny. Sherry comes in early. It's just like, yeah, like, you know what? But yeah, I love these conversations because at the end of the day, we can disagree and still love each other, folks. We're gonna have different perspectives, and that's how we learn. Obviously, Michaela has worked in a newsroom. I haven't. I'm very honest about, I'm not a journalist. I don't even understand journalism the way that, you know, journalists do it. I'm very honest about that. So I appreciate these conversations to learn and really engage. As far as Canjelae, seeing her rise over the last decade is just amazing. And what I will say to anyone is something that she didn't say it, but when you grow beyond your environment, when you give yourself a chance to grow, these are the things that you can accomplish. All right. Let's go. Let's do the draw. Folks, I'm not even gonna tell you what I did, but some people's not gonna be in the draw. I just
okay. Would you like me to do the daily inspiration as you're doing the draw?
Yes, please, Kales. Daily inspiration.
All right. This is from Auntie Oprah, my favorite person. Self-esteem means knowing you are the dream.
All right. I like that one. Where do you find these?
Lots of research, my dear, because I like good ones.
I thought she was gonna be like, nah, if I tell you, I'm gonna have to kill you. But no,
right. No, not this, not this. Other things, yes.
See how she is. All right, let's do the giveaway. Let's see who's the winner today. Hit draw. Come on, Sherry. What's that? Big money drum roll.
Yes, big money. No whammies. No whammies. Come on.
Come on, I can't do that long.
Yeah, Irish.
Talia.
All righty. I think she's our first time winner. So congratulations to Talia. And we'll make sure we get you a prize. My friends, I'm going to miss you guys. I'm going to miss you. It is.
It's the weekend, boo. Bye.
Oh, what? You see how she is? What? You see how they are? You know what I'm saying? That's all good. Thanks again.
My turn to be in Bermuda.
Medical House, One Communications, and Linda's for ensuring that we would do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you. We love you. Well, I do at least. And we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you next week. She's Michaela Ian, Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamel Hartman. Sherry, safe travels tomorrow as you head back to
Thank you. Come say hi to me if you see me. I will have different hair, but it's still me.
Make it a great, safe weekend, everybody. Peace out.
Deuces.